Hi, I'm Stacy Beck. Welcome to Studio Chatter. Today we'll visit with an attorney about wills and trusts. That's something everyone should think about.
I'm Angela Euler. We'll talk about a new low-impact exercise studio in town. It sounds like fun.
And I'm Angie Murphy. We'll also talk about more innovations in the oral health field.
And we'll talk about a way to save your family photos and memories. That and more are coming up on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. We're definitely in March. If it's not snowing, it's raining.
Right?
Yeah.
In like a lion, out like a lamb is what the quote is. Did you guys know that quote?
Yes.
Okay, my mom always used to say that.
Now we're all going to get a life raft.
That's so true.
Yeah. Sandbags maybe, right guys?
Yep, they're ordered.
But
Wasn't there a reservoir? I just heard it on the news that there was a Gunlock Reservoir that's like seeping over the edge or something.
I think I just
like
read that
it's
too.
like getting there.
We were just in St. George, drove back today, and my husband's like, do you want to run over to Gunlock? I'm like, no, we're going back in April. Let's go look at it then, because we went, I bet it was 7 years ago when we had a really wet spring. Have you guys been to Gunlock?
No.
It's so incredible to go in a wet spring.
Okay, I
now
need to do that.
Gunlock is
It's like a
down by St.
reservoir, but then
George.
they
Yes,
release
but
it, and
it's
so it's
down.
just like waterfalls and all the
I
rocks,
think
and you
I've
can
been
hike
there.
all around
Yeah.
it. It's
I'm
beautiful.
going to write that
been
down.
there
I need to
go
do
to
that.
Gunlock.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
well, if nothing else, it's going to fill up our lakes.
Yes, it will.
And our
Which we need.
reservoirs, and that's a
And
good thing.
possibly our basements.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
We cannot complain, guys. We have needed it.
We sure can. We're
If
really
we could
good
contain
at it.
it.
We can stop
Contain
praying
it.
for the rain, though.
Yes, no more prayers on rain. We did
Yeah.
pray for you to be here tonight, so thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks, Angela.
We had to excuse Natasha and ask Angela to fill in.
Oh, it's always my pleasure to come.
And we get your cute hubby too.
Yeah.
It's a 2-for-1
Yeah,
tonight.
that would be fun to have
Yeah.
Kevin on.
Yeah.
He's excited. I'm glad he's not nervous.
And then Angie, you walked in tonight with a beautiful white smile.
Guys, I'm finally brace free. It feels so good.
1 year.
1 year.
'Kay.
Yep. Almost to the day, guys.
Oh, wow.
So pretty
Because
awesome.
the day you got him on, you came in, and that was my first day here, too.
Yes, and we.
Are you serious?
And we interviewed our
Yes.
other doctor that day
Yeah.
that you were here
Oh my
too, and then we're
gosh.
interviewing our doctors
Yeah.
today. So
We've
yep.
come full circle.
We
now.
have.
gosh, it may
So you
feel
needed
like
to be
deja vu.
here. My graduation day.
Yep.
It does feel good, but they put retainers on the bottom and the top.
But that's good, so your teeth
But
aren't
it's
gonna
good,
move.
yes. And I just want to thank Chris and Greg Troutnell. They were so dear and kind to me and made me just feel like a rock star during the whole process. Sometimes as an older person doing that, and you're in there with like all the 12 and 14-year-olds, and you're like,
They
hi.
ask you what color do you want?
And I did colors. I went all in. So, but it
Wow.
was good. So
It's beautiful.
thanks, guys. It feels good. And now I'm just ready for my implant. That's what I'll do next.
It's usually one thing after another, huh?
It is getting old.
Yeah. Angela, how's school?
School is good. It's busy and boring, but
Is that boring, your classes right now?
no, it's exciting for me, but it's not. I don't know. I'm just a nerd, so I love the stuff I'm learning. But
So, but what you're learning, you're loving.
I love it, yes. But when I start talking to Kevin about it, he's
like zoned
he's
out.
like zoning out.
So
like, good, hon.
if it's not a novel, if it's like a self-help book or just book of information, I always have a pen and I'm writing. So last night we were in our hotel room and I'm filling things out, and I think I wrote in the little margin, "Wow, that's so crazy." And Chris was laying next to me and he looks over and he's like, "What does that say?" And I said,
That was an
"Wow,
important
that's
note."
crazy." And he just busts up laughing. He's like, "You had to write that?" I'm like, "Yes." So then when I'm flipping through it, I know.
You know, that's
Wow,
the part.
This is a good message. What's it?
That's the part that's crazy
I
right
need
there.
to read this crazy message.
I know, and sometimes I'm taking notes and stuff like that, and then I was like, I basically have rewrote this whole page. Why do I do that? Highlight.
You might as
Wow,
well
that's
just-
crazy.
Oh, I think it's awesome that, okay, someone else says it's boring, but you're loving it.
I do. I
That's
do.
good.
Yeah.
Good for
it
you.
puts people to sleep when I talk about
No,
it.
you're on a pedestal up here with
Yeah.
me, like, to be
With
going
education.
a master's degree, and you have 4 kids. You're at a busy stage. Your husband has
Yes.
his normal job, city council,
And
Euler
his business
Media.
now. Yeah, so he's got 3 jobs.
That's a
he
lot,
has to have
kid.
3 jobs to support me.
He's keeping you going to school. That's important.
Yeah.
Then you could do some payback.
I will. I says one day I'm going to pay for a trip for you because he's been paying for all these trips for me. And
Well, that's awesome.
so dear.
I know. He's
He's a
gem.
good guy.
Good for
Stace,
you.
and where did you go? Down to St. George?
Yep, we had a conference for Parks and Rec.
And how was
in
it?
meetings. meetings. It was good though.
Was
What
it?
did
Yeah,
you love?
good.
What was your favorite thing that you learned about that?
For me, the benefit of going to any of these is like the camaraderie with the staff and talking about, okay, what are you guys facing? Like, for a good example is listening to the problems we're having with our pickleball courts.
Oh, we're having
You know,
problems. See, I wouldn't
Problems
have
in
known
the
that.
sense, I mean, we have 16 courts. You would think we would have enough, but people from
So busy. It's
Other towns are coming in,
well,
right?
and a specific school, university,
schools.
and there are times she said that 200 of these kids will show up and take over. And so it's a problem. Like, we don't want to
You're
kick them
going
out,
to need
but
to
we
like
want-
reserve them and rent them
yeah,
out.
we're just looking at ways, like, it's unfair to the residents that
Like maybe
live
have
here.
some for the residents, and then maybe we almost need to build some others that can be rentables that help
Rentables.
provide.
Yeah.
Income.
They love because
Solutions.
there are 16.
Yes.
So then they can just fill it up and all have fun, but they don't share and rotate out. So,
Yeah.
so it's always good to hear, like, hey, these are the different things we're facing. These are some of our successes. It helps us keep a pulse on things. The classes are so good for staff to go to.
and then they hear about what other cities are doing.
Oh,
right?
right. And then
right.
you take
Find
a
some
folder
answers.
home with like a lot of, the awards banquet we were at
Yeah.
today, Angela.
Yeah.
Like, they say, keep this pamphlet and like refer back to it. If you want to like do something great, don't reinvent the wheel. Copy
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They have great ideas
Awesome.
in there.
well,
That's
we
good,
have
good.
a great show lined up.
We do, guys.
So
Some
let's-
really great
let's
people.
dive in
Let's do
and
it.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Next on Studio Chatter, are you looking for a low impact method of exercising? Stay with us to learn more. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. A good stretch, a warm room, and lots of pain relief. That's some of what the Core Studio is offering. Let's welcome my dear friend, Kim Atkin, to the table. Kim and I have been friends for, we're thinking 20-ish years, right?
It was
Stop
close.
it.
No,
Yep.
really.
So we lived in the same neighborhood, and then did you move 10 years ago? Because we've already been in our house almost 9.
Okay.
And you moved before me.
yeah. Like
Right
I think
before you did, right?
Yeah. I think we said it's been like 17, 18 years. So it's
Yeah.
been a long
It's
time.
been
So
a
I've
long
known you though too.
Right.
Like
Yep.
it's
Through
been a
our
long time.
children, and through
Hi,
the same
I'm
neighborhood.
Angela.
Yes, this is Angela.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry, and here's our dear friend Angela.
And Kim and I both have 4 kids, but I was just that decade ahead of her, and she was, I'll be like, okay, now what's coming?
Yeah, she seemed like the young
I know.
one, right?
Well, yeah, and
The
we
older
went
ladies.
for the
We're
wise.
the older sisters.
Yes.
Yes.
She was always wise.
I don't know about that. I tell
Well-
you, it's painful. Whatever's next is painful.
Thank you.
But when you moved, you started Pilates classes, and you're like, hey, I'm going to put this out there. I'm
Yeah.
going to open a Pilates class in my basement. And
Yeah.
so that's when I started.
So
It's
tell us
been
how you
5 years.
started down that road of doing Pilates, because we were chatting about
Yes.
Pilates,
Yeah.
Windsor Pilates that we bought on
like
TV.
that we all probably did like forever ago. I'm from Arizona, and I took my first class, like it was on the Reformers, and I couldn't find anything here in Utah or close
Okay.
by. So I took a class in Arizona, and it was something I loved it from like the start to finish of it. And it was on the Reformers, it was in Gilbert, and I called my husband, I'm like, I have to do this. I don't
And the
care.
Reformers are the
They're
machines.
the machines. They're
Okay.
the Pilates machines.
Okay.
And then I signed up for some more classes. I was there for a week, and then I found out she did her training in Salt Lake. So I went through, did my training, which is it's like 500 hours, maybe 600 hours. I
Oh
can't
my
remember. It's quite a bit of
goodness.
training for 'em.
Wow.
And then when I was doing it, thanks.
I got you.
Thanks. When I was doing the training, I realized there just wasn't anywhere. There wasn't like studios around here. There just wasn't anything. So finished the training, and we started in my basement with 2 Reformers, the 2 machines. And then I got a 3rd, and then I got a 4th. And so we did that downstairs.
Oh my heavens. So you just invited a friend, or like,
I just kind of put it out there, hey, come
Like,
try
I'm gonna do
Pilates.
this, right?
Yeah. And then before long, we moved it out to like the pool house up in this like little studio that I had for like 4 years. I think we were up there.
Wow.
And then kicked my husband out of like the big part of the garage, and then did that.
He no longer has
and
a
he's
man
like,
cave.
then it was, we need to build a studio.
Then he was all, "Where's my dirt bikes? Where's my stuff?" And then he's
Right.
all, "You're done."
Yeah.
So then
You're done.
You're done. You're done. So then
So
we
what
opened
are the
it.
benefits of Pilates? Tell us about it.
Gosh, I just feel like I tell people like it's the smartest workout because it tones, it stretches, it sculpts. It's a low impact, which like anybody can do it. Like, and you can modify any exercise on this. So low impact but high intensity. You can also get your heart rate up. Get your heart rate up. It's so different. I feel like it's just such a different workout. It's a spring load that you put on, so you can make this as light as you need and as heavy as you want.
Okay.
Which is so fun.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about the machines, because I'm like, okay,
I know,
did the
reformer,
I did
right?
the video, but that wasn't in the video. What's
No, the
machine?
reformers have been around forever. So, I mean, like, it's pretty much, it looks like a big piece of furniture almost. And you put on your spring loads. So it goes from light to heavy.
Okay.
You go into straps, which stretches like.
All your legs and arms. Oh, it's
So Stacy, you've gone to her
Stacy's
classes.
been coming for a while.
years, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and what I love, like, it truly is my favorite workout of the week. I usually just go once a week, but you have people coming in every day. But she'll work us out so good. But the stretching after, I will be amazed the next day. I'm like, I am not even sore
Because it feels so good.
because the stretching
Yeah.
you do after.
You're not putting a
things.
pounding on your muscles.
Okay.
Which,
And
like,
you can determine the amount of weight
Yeah.
or strength, I
pretty
guess,
much.
resistance.
Sometimes even that lighter weight, though, is harder.
harder, 'cause
because
you're
you're
really
using
in
your
your
body
body.
resistance.
Okay, got you, yeah.
Every exercise on it, whether you realize it or not, uses your core. So we do like a lot of lunges, and you'll go into a lunge and then you come up. It's all using core muscles.
Okay.
So no matter what, you're strengthening these core muscles on every move that you're doing. So that's where the name came from.
Okay, core.
Yeah, the core.
And I don't even think we talked about where is the core.
Where is the core? Canyon
by
Creek.
Canyon Creek.
Canyon
Yes.
Creek over my front door aims at Popeyes Chicken.
Okay, excellent.
Yep, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to go to my favorite things party, and I got a gift card to
Yes.
the core. I haven't made it yet. My life's been crazy, but I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Are people nervous to try something new?
for
And
sure,
should they
Ange.
be? And is it tricky your first time? Tell me. Like,
know,
am
I
I going to be embarrassed?
No, you know what the thing is when we started in with the studio, I wanted a really positive vibe in there because I think it is something that people haven't done around here.
Right.
Although it's been around,
Right.
people haven't done it. I want people to feel welcome and greeted, and I'll let everybody know at first. I'm like, you're going to feel awkward, but we all do it first.
Right,
It's not
right.
tricky.
Okay.
I guide, like I said, I guide everybody through it, or my instructors are trained as well. We guide everybody through it.
And tell us who the instructors are, because there are a lot of local people that
Yeah.
people listening might be like, oh, I didn't know so-and-so was there.
So I have Annie Forsey. She lives in Mapleton, and she started with me in the basement. She was my first client.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I don't know if you've had Annie yet.
No.
So she usually does the Tuesday, Thursday, 6 a.m. So she started with me and then just never left.
Okay.
And then I have Candace Marks, and we've been friends forever. And she started, she was another one that just came, and I was just like, get certified. You're
Right.
here
You're
anyways.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I have Laura Dart. Her husband, I believe, is from Spanish Fork.
yeah.
So, and she was another one that she came and was hooked from the beginning. And so I just trained her. And so those are the Pilates instructors. And then we have hot yoga as well.
And how long are, when someone goes, how
An hour.
long?
Plan
It's
on an hour, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not all of that. Some of that is stretching. Like, walk me through if I was coming in to work out. What could I
We start
expect?
every class at least pretty close to we will warm up our core. And that might feel like a stretch too, but we warm up the core just so that you have that because it's such a big part of Pilates. So we'll start with a quick warm up, and then we do stretch at the beginning. But as you're stretching, it feels like you're toning. You feel your muscles, like you feel everything. Even in these in these stretching forms, you feel everything. So
And then sometimes we pull on weights or have balls
Yes.
or the hoops. What are those things that we
it depends what we want to call
get
them
like
that
in
day.
our thighs? There's things you work out that you're like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, I didn't know that was supposed to be a muscle.
This is what scares me.
You do that when you're at the studio. Whoa.
No, you're scary.
Just make sure you go to Kim's.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
So, Kim,
She'll
a lot
lead
of
me
people
through.
might be like, well, how in the heck do I sign up? So
or do it?
explain that process.
So you could go through our website, which is thecoreutah.com.
Okay.
And that has our classes on there. We also I have the app of the Mind Body app that you can book your classes on. We have classes 6 a.m. to 9:15, and then we start again at night. So
Awesome. So morning and evening
morning and
classes.
evening.
Saturday, you guys, I went to my
Saturday.
first. Angie, I did my first hot yoga.
Okay, and
Oh, you loved it.
how was that?
I loved it.
You did?
100 degrees in there, right? I didn't know anyone. I was nervous. I do love yoga and I love stretching. I'm like, I don't love
Was
sweating.
it hard?
No, but I was
Okay.
dripping.
Which
like,
is fine, right? That's
Dripping,
fine.
but when I left, I was just like so happy. It was such a good way to start my weekend off.
Okay, so
I like
is
that
there
so
like
much more than I thought.
Yeah, is there like monthly dues or how does that
You can
work?
pay per class.
Okay.
We have punch passes that have been really popular that we
Okay.
do for Pilates and yoga, and then there's a monthly membership. You choose.
Okay,
So we've
I
made
like
it so
that.
anyone can try it.
Okay.
Angie, I can't wait for you to use your
can't
It
wait.
sounds like,
I need
it
to
sounds
do
like
it.
we should have done an on-site
We should
studio
have. Maybe we
chatter.
still
without
should.
the cameras. So yes.
Yes.
On site
No,
let us
without the
know.
cameras.
That
With
would mean
cameras.
everyone would love the camera, so they can experience it with us.
We should.
Oh, yeah, maybe
We
so.
should.
Maybe we
Let's do
should.
it.
I think we should
would
bring
do
the
that.
cameras.
Thanks for coming.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
And you're
guys.
already booking up and filling your classes up.
Yeah,
so
Which
you're
is so
already a
great.
success.
Yep, people need it.
Thank you. Thanks.
What's new in the oral health world? We'll find out coming up next. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Our friends from Utah Surgical Arts are with us to talk about oral health. Let's welcome Dr. Skip Holliday and Kyle Schiffler to the table.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
I was just saying before, my work teams collide today, so
That's right.
I couldn't be more happy to have you guys. These are our two newest on board at Utah Surgical Arts. We have 6 doctors total now,
Yep.
which is super awesome.
How many locations do you guys have?
We have kind of 4. I mean, pretty much 4. We just are frontiering Payson again back at Dr. Trapnell's in Payson.
Oh, okay.
But we have South Jordan, we have Provo, Lehigh, and now back down to Payson.
Okay,
So do you
that's
work
super
at a certain
convenient.
location or you move around?
There, between the 6 of us, there is a doctor at each location 5 days out of the week. I travel between the 3 kind of northern offices, and then he takes the middle down to the bottom. But we're the only ones that kind of go to lots and lots of different locations. But the other doctors will split time between at least a couple of
Okay.
offices.
So tell them a little bit about each of you and how you went into this field, and then
Yeah.
what brought you here to USA.
Yeah. So the abbreviated form is I was born and raised in Arizona, went to dental school in Arizona and residency out in Memphis, Tennessee. And while I was a dental student in Arizona, I met Dr. Eric Wood, one of our other partners that's there, while he was a resident in Arizona. And so when I was looking for a job, my family had since then transplanted themselves from Arizona up to Utah, and so we considered looking into Utah. And just going through websites, I saw Dr. Eric Wood's name on our website, and I had his cell phone number, so I just called him out of the blue and
You
was
gave
like,
him a fist bump.
"Yes,
You're like, hey,
I did."
Could I
And
come
I said,
visit?
"Hey, yeah, you remember me?" And he was like, "You can't be almost done." I'm like, "I'm almost done," and he's like, "Oh, this is perfect timing." And that was pretty much the end of it. We started talking, and it was clearly the best fit for me was being with this practice, and so that was kind of all she wrote. And then we signed with him, and I came straight from Memphis straight to here and started.
So when did you start here?
We just started back in like June, July time.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm from Portland, Oregon. Grew up there, went to BYU, and then went to Los Angeles for dental school at UCLA, went to USC for medical school, and did the rest of my training. So I was in Los Angeles for, as I say, 10 years too long. So I need to get out of there and come to a more
It's
family-oriented,
definitely a
slower-paced
different
place.
place.
Totally.
And so yeah, we moved here in June. I have 2 kids. You have 4
I should have mentioned
kids,
I have
right?
4 kids. Yeah.
Okay.
And a loving wife.
Yes, very much. So.
Loving wife.
He knows my
Darling wives.
Yeah,
They're
the
so
best.
dear.
Our better halves.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
For
So
sure.
Utah Surgical Arts, tell us exactly what you do.
So at Utah Surgical Arts, we're oral and maxillofacial surgeons, which means that we can be both in a hospital and doing things such as facial trauma and reconstructive jaw surgery and things like that. But the majority of us in here, we have our private practice where we do a lot more of the dental side of it. So we do wisdom teeth, dental implants, dental extractions, bone grafting, sinus lifts, all under sedation if necessary, that we can do in office. But primarily we do a lot of wisdom teeth and dental implants for people.
Okay.
So if I knock my teeth out and I need some new teeth,
We would be the eyes.
how long does it take to how long do I have to smile with no teeth?
Yeah.
Process.
Hopefully you don't have to smile without any teeth ever. You can do some type of prosthesis in between that time while you're recovering for
Some
things.
little retainers
Yeah,
with a little
exactly.
fingertip on there.
Make them look
Take out
real
for
nice.
Halloween.
Exactly.
Be a pirate.
Yes, yeah. But for the most part, it can take anywhere from like 3 to 6 months or so, depending on the necessity of grafting or otherwise for bone and things like that. It just kind of depends. But
Okay.
it does take a couple months for it to heal appropriately.
I'm guessing, because this is how I would feel personally, you wouldn't be my favorite people to go see. You both look very nice.
No, we know our place in society, that's for sure.
Yeah, it just
Not many
like
people want
when
to
your
see us.
mouth hurts,
Yeah.
that's it, you can't think of anything
Yep.
else.
Yeah.
That's why we put patients to sleep.
You won't remember
You don't
me when
remember
wake
us.
up.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
pain, wake
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
much better.
Honestly, I think because we go through such rigorous training, we're very specialized in what we do, and so it makes it kind of a unique field where we feel like we're the best equipped to treat certain things, and so most people heal fairly well. I think kind of gone are the days of being extremely swollen and hurting for weeks and weeks after wisdom teeth or something like that.
Okay.
Now it seems a little bit more streamlined, at least for us, and it's very few and far between that patients end up being like that, being super swollen and really, in a lot of pain. Most of the time, people do really well, honestly. And so, yeah, it's not fun to see us,
Yeah.
but we try to make it a really, just incredible experience from start to finish as you're meeting Angie at the
I was
front
just
desk.
going to say, well,
She
What
just
more
there.
could you want?
You're
She
beamed in
suckers
as soon
them
as
in.
you see her.
Yes, right. And then from start to finish with our staff and everyone who just takes such good care of all of our patients, they really do have such a unique experience that it's wonderful, actually.
Tell us a little bit about the accreditation and what that means to our practice.
Yeah, so our Provo office is accredited by a certain organization. It's AAAHC accredited, and basically it's a designated operating room. So it has the same standards of any hospital, and so we do big surgeries there, trauma, reconstruction, or if someone's medically compromised, we put them under general anesthesia with an anesthesiologist, and it has the same safety standards, the same protocols. So it's kind of a unique thing. I think it's still the only oral surgery practice in Utah that has that accreditation.
Yeah, it takes a lot
It's
of.
intense.
Yeah.
We have to write reports, and we have to still publish papers and things like that, trying to maintain this,
really?
where we could still do the same thing that we could do, in any office, but we feel that holds us to even a higher standard. So.
Right.
Yeah. But I'd say our biggest thing is that we try to provide a Nordstrom experience to our patients. It's the doctors, they see us for a couple minutes. It's more the staff training, the high quality staff that we have, that patients come and they have a good experience. They feel like their time is taken to explain what we're doing and how the recovery goes and all that stuff. So we try to think about the big picture. It's not just about doing the procedure and treating patients. It's all about seeing the humanity in the people and trying to see things in their perspective, because it's a new experience for them.
Yeah, we won't leave you on just hanging out on a limb. You'll get our cell phones or something if you need to afterwards. It's we're really there from start to finish, and want you to know that we love and care for you, even if it is for that brief amount of time.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
Well, okay, so we have wisdom teeth and implants, and we've kind of touched on our typical wisdom teeth schedule. Tell us a little bit about what that looks like if someone came in to get their wisdom teeth out. How fast is that? People are always kind of amazed with our process.
It is pretty mind-blowing. So we typically do a lot of consult extractions. So you don't have to come in just to do the consult. You can come and see us for the very first time. We'll talk to you, and we give specialized instruction with our front staff, and so they can kind of screen patients as necessary and set aside time appropriate. But we would see you, take the appropriate x-rays and any imaging that we would need, run over your health history and get you set up, and then we'd take you back into the one of the surgical suites, and from start to finish it can take us probably less than 20 minutes or so to take out put you to sleep, take out your 4 wisdom teeth, wake you up, and then send you to the recovery afterwards. So it is pretty quick and streamlined. Like I said, we go to a lot of training to do it, and it might seem simple, like taking out wisdom teeth, but they can be tricky and they can be hard, and
It sounds like it's very ridiculous.
Yeah.
And are we usually going because the doctor has recommended us to go?
Correct, yeah. Most of the time they're referred by a general dentist or an orthodontist. Sometimes they just hear about it and know that they have wisdom teeth and at some point should get them taken out. But a lot of the decision is made by us and recommendations and things.
Yeah, a lot of people will call and say, do I need a referral? No, they do not.
Correct.
But it's nice if they've been, and then we know, hey, we're right about that age range, which is about 15-ish,
Yeah.
we say, to about 25, that you could just come in and do that same consult.
When in doubt, always come in and we'll talk to you about it and get you set up, whether it's
And
to
they'll
do
just
it or later
educate,
on.
educate you
Yeah.
with everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you guys were going to offer a discount
Yeah.
on
Yes.
your copayment, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Do you guys remember what we're doing?
Yeah, 20% for anyone who is watching it, correct?
Yes,
Angie will know
correct.
more because we don't even really deal with the insurance side of it. They're the ones that do the whole thing.
Yeah.
All of our front desk.
They're
yeah,
the specialties, they're the hands. But if you call and book an appointment and just mention Studio Chatter, then you're going to get 20% off of your copay amount, so whatever that
That's
might be. If
awesome.
you're cash pay, we'll still do that 20% off. So
Awesome.
these guys are amazing. It really is such a great place to work, and I'm just super proud of you guys for
Thanks.
jumping in there and
We love it.
taking the reins on it.
Enjoy your careers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yes. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks for coming.
What can you do with that box of old family photos? Stay with us to find out. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. I think it's pretty safe to say that you have a box of old videotapes and photos that are just getting older. Let's fix that problem. Welcome Kevin Euler from Euler Media Conversion. Okay, to the table
Thank
with
you.
your wife.
With my wife. How awesome is this?
This is so great, guys.
Be able
Should we
to-
just give it to
Found
you
this
two?
handsome little hunk on the side of the road and
Brought him
brought
along.
him along. So
No,
hey.
seriously, thank you for having me tonight.
Yeah.
Excited.
Well,
to be
I
here.
used your services. I brought a box of little video tapes
yeah,
from
like
my
the-
cassette,
Yep.
my home movie
Yep.
cassette player. So it wasn't the VHS, just the small ones. Gave Kevin a box, and I said, I don't even know what's on them. And well, I swear you had them done within a week and a half. I don't know if that's your normal turnaround time.
It's
And now
pretty,
we have blackmail on Stacy.
Yes, you do, I'm sure.
Everything whoopsie.
No.
Bad haircut.
Yeah, I'm able to, at least at this point, I'm able to turn around pretty quick. A week, 2 weeks at the most, I think. There's
Depending on
one.
how many.
There's one that I'm working on now that's taking a little bit longer because of the amount of tapes that they have, plus what they're asking me to do.
Okay.
They want every one of their tapes also copied to DVD, which
Yeah,
I
it
typically
takes
don't
time.
do, and that takes
Okay,
time.
I was going to ask that
okay.
because years ago I put all my little ones on DVDs.
Yep.
I took it to a place that did that, but now I don't want them on DVDs. I want it like, what do you do, a thumb drive or?
That's a great thing to point out because as technology changes, we need to also make sure that we're changing with that. Meaning, if you had yours done on DVD, you can't buy a computer anymore that has a DVD player on
No,
it.
I had to buy a separate one for my
Yeah.
Mac to run
and,
those.
And so what I do is somebody will bring in their tapes like Stacy did, and I will digitize everything and I'll put it on a thumb drive and give you that thumb drive and encourage you currently to put it all in the cloud because that's where we're at with technology. Once it's in the cloud, it's secure and safe, whether it be a Google Drive or an Apple iCloud or whatever it is that you use. But once you've got it in the cloud, it's pretty good. But again, who knows what 10 years from now will be.
Right.
And
Right.
it could change again. So I would just encourage you to be aware of technology as it changes. If you've got old DVDs now, bring those in, get those digitized and put on a thumb drive and up to the
And
cloud.
tell everybody why it's important to get those, go and dig through and pull out the old tapes and get them digitized.
So
why now?
one main reason is because tape specifically does not stay good forever. It deteriorates about 20% after 15 to 20 years. And so as people are bringing me their old VHS tapes that they want converted from the early 90s, the 80s, the further back you go, the poorer the quality is.
Oh, I didn't
and there's
know that.
not a lot that you can do to fix and restore those. There are some things that you can do as far as the audio to get rid of clicks and different things with audio, but as far as the quality, once it's deteriorated, there's really not anything you can do.
Okay.
So that's why it's important to do it as quickly as you can, because the longer you wait, the poorer the quality. Plus, you take the risk of having something happen to the tapes.
Right.
Either
Right.
your house floods or burn, a fire. Hopefully,
Not
that never
either of
happens,
those,
right?
But you don't know.
You never
Well,
know.
and even for us, we weren't watching them. We weren't seeing and viewing those images and those memories because we couldn't find our camcorder that then
Yes.
could hook up to a
Yes.
TV that could even play that.
Yeah, and that's
And that was so
really
tricky.
That's really what got me into the business. Is I've done this for years with my own family, with our videos, Angela and I's, where I would take them, I would convert them. I took my parents' home videos when I was a kid, converted them, and made them in a format that I can now share with all of my siblings.
So cool.
So I don't have to burn a DVD for each of them. I've got them in the cloud. I've got a server and a service that I use that they can all log into accounts that they have and watch home videos
It's
of all
almost
of us as kids.
like Netflix. You
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
from your TV, you just log on and you can just view them.
That's
So
so
yeah,
nice.
technology now it makes it so easy to share our media with others. And that's the last thing you want to do is go and get them put on DVD or whatever it is, spend that money and never watch them. How many times let me ask you, Angie, when you want to record your kids or your grandkids, what do you use?
Usually
now?
my phone now.
Your phone,
Yep.
right? So does Angela. So do I. The problem is now, when do our kids or our grandkids ever watch the videos that we're recording
Yes,
with our
totally.
devices?
Even
I feel like I have like 80,000 pictures I
Yes.
noticed in the cloud on my phone,
Yeah.
and I was like, what am I doing with this?
Yeah, so that's another thing that I do. We had a family trip, a family vacation a year ago. Angela's taking video with her phone. I'm taking video with mine. We have another camera that we're taking video on. I take all those videos of this family vacation that we went on and I combine them in order of the beginning of the trip to the end of the trip. So 3 different sources combined into now a single family video of that vacation to where our kids can now go and watch all of that and
Yeah.
I love it.
and
So
they
do you
love
guys
it.
take more
Love it.
video than photos? Because I'm a big photographer on vacations, and if I'm with friends or extended family or whatever, we're all sharing the album, so everyone's things are dropping in. But I find like the video snippets are usually super small, so if I went on a vacation and had you make a video, it could be 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was
But
surprised. So-
tons of pictures, like 800 photos.
I was surprised. So this trip that I'm talking about, we were gone for, I think it was 9 days. We went to Mexico, and we have, yes, tons of photos. But when I combined the total amount of video footage
Oh, okay.
into a single video file, it was 2.5 hours long.
You're not serious.
I'm serious. Yes.
But see, lately I've been videoing, and then I'll just click some pictures, and they may not be as like crystal clear, but as you're videoing on your phone, you can do still shots too.
I figured that out, but my
Yeah.
daughter also showed me how you can be in the video,
Yes.
stop it,
Uh-huh.
and then take it
Yes.
from there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I video more now than I used to, just because I
Okay,
realize
so
that.
Kevin, we
And-
can give you our things off of our phone videos, and then you can combine them.
That's an option as
So
well,
do we
yes.
Email those, or do we just give our phone, or how do we
good
do
question,
that?
Good
Yeah.
question. So if somebody wants to have this done, they can go to my website, OilerMediaConversion.com, and there's a form that they can fill out there to set up an appointment. I'll reach out to them and say, okay, what's a good time for you? Right now I'm working out of my home, so everything I do is just at home. We'll schedule an appointment. They bring a box of all
But yeah,
of
the
whatever
reason
they
why
have.
they schedule an appointment is because you have 2 other jobs, right?
Yeah.
So, but
So
you
make
but
sure-
he
make
gets-
sure-
but he
yeah.
gets back to him pretty fast.
Yeah, so we set up a time, they bring it over to the house, their box of media, bring it in, we take pictures to make sure we know exactly what it is they dropped off, and then start working on it, and then it's like you say, it's about a week or 2 turnaround to get everything back to them.
So do you need our phones, or can we airdrop them to you, or how do you do that if we just have or in the cloud, I guess?
Yeah, no, obviously you don't want to leave your phone
Right.
for a week. Nobody can do that, right?
Right.
And so usually if it's something like that where they want media off of their phone, if they've already uploaded it to the cloud, the best thing is to create a shared album.
Okay.
And then share it that way, and then I've got
Oh, that's
access to
easy,
the super
right?
easy. Yep. create a shared album, share it with me. I can then download the video files that you
my
want
gosh.
converted and combine them.
And then like take our duplicates and stuff like that and get rid of it.
Yep, I've got a piece of software that will go through and find all of the duplicates, photos, or even if they're pretty similar. Like how many times you have somebody take a family photo, you're all standing in front of the
gazillion,
beach, and
right?
you say, hey,
20
take
of
a
them.
picture for us, and you've now got 20 of the same
Yes,
photo.
and I hate that.
Because when you said you had from Mexico 2.5 hours worth, was that just a video? Or was that your photos and video?
That was just video. Yes.
Just video.
But if we wanted to, do you do the part of like, let's say there's 800 photos plus, 10 minutes of video, could you put the photos in with it?
You could do that if that's what
Kind
somebody
of like a
wanted.
wedding video type
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Music to it.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I want people to know is Mother's Day is coming up. And there is no better gift
I agree.
Really.
than being able to watch those things. I can't tell you how many customers come in and they are so excited. It was almost there was a couple that came in, they were almost fighting. Like, she's like, I want to watch them when we get home. He's like, we're going to have to wait because I got this and this to do. And she's just so excited.
Yeah.
And they just, it is life-changing.
So you asked
really.
about videos and pictures. If you get your kids together or your grandkids together, you want to look through photo albums, or would you rather watch actual video?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
just
listen,
throw it on the
hear
TV
their
and just let
voices?
it go.
Yeah, and so you want video. So I would definitely encourage you to
Okay.
continue taking more video.
That's a good move, because since January, when you gave me my little USB thing, what's it called?
Just thumb drive.
Yeah.
That's what we do on Sunday nights. The family all comes over for dinner, and then we put that on, and it's just been loads of fun. Kevin,
Yeah.
our time's up.
Darn it. Okay.
Thank you. This is inspiring,
You're
though.
welcome.
Yeah.
I love the Mother's Day idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a great idea.
Do
That's
it.
fun.
Dig them out. You have to get them converted anyways. Just do it now.
Okay, so they can
Yeah.
just go to your website and find out more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Perfect.
for sure.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Kevin.
Thank you.
Coming up next is your chance to get some free legal advice. Stay with us. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Have you thought about a will or a trust but just didn't know where to start? Let's welcome Ken Prigmore from Prigmore Law to the chat.
Hello.
Hello, Ken.
We're super excited.
We are. Natasha actually reached out to you to have you come on the show, and
Yes,
she's
she
not here, unfortunately, but
She ranted and raved about
She did.
your expertise.
she sure
Which I
did.
appreciate very much.
So tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay. Well, I'm an estate planning attorney. My focus is wills, trusts, and probates. And I've been an attorney for over 16 years. We've lived for several years in Spanish Fork. We raised a few of our children here. We have 7 kids.
Ooh.
And,
Wow, good for you.
That
So he
alone
needs
could
a
be a
will.
whole
He
segment.
needs a will.
He needs
so
a long
there's
one.
no fighting, right? Maybe
We're working
not.
on that.
He's like, I don't know.
I'm more the judge in that case. But,
Nice.
and then I'm actually a recent graduate of Spanish Fork University.
Oh, did you love that?
I loved it. That was so much fun.
What was the one thing that has really stuck with you since you've graduated?
Oh, it was definitely the experience with the police officers. They're amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
I
got to
have
do some of
heard.
what they do. We had wax bullets. We were shooting at each other.
Wow.
How did you do? That's
It
the
was
question.
terrifying. But it was eye-opening and made me appreciate what they do so much more.
That's awesome.
I
My
bet.
husband's in this go around.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll love it.
And your
I
second
will.
favorite was here at SF17.
That's
for
right.
sure.
That's
Okay,
right.
perfect.
Sorry, I should have said that first.
Well, that's why you're not nervous and you're like, hey, I'm ready
Yeah,
to do
I got this.
So you said you've been an attorney for 16 years.
Yes.
There's a lot of ways you could have gone with that. Why this route?
Well, I tried a few different routes and
Okay.
attempted a few different things, saw what I liked and what I didn't, and weeded it out. And this is what I enjoy. My favorite thing is sitting down and putting together documents that keep people out of court.
Oh,
So,
we need
and-
more people
So
like you.
yeah, proper planning
Right.
then keeps that all at ease. Okay, so tell us one of your favorites. So say Stacy or I came in and said, okay, this is what I have. How do I go about doing it? When is the time to start doing it as well? When you're 40?
Oh, that's
20,
a great
50,
question.
time frame.
I get clients from just about every age group. A lot of them are coming in maybe in their 60s and 70s and saying, we're embarrassed, but we never got around to this. And that's okay. That's normal. But as long as you have a house, or if you have children, then you have a reason for an estate plan.
Okay.
For the house, we're going to go to probate if it's still in your name at your death.
And probate
Yep,
means,
I-
for the
Explain
layman?
that.
Back to court.
Okay.
Going to court and having to get a judge to approve who's going to be able to sell the house, who's going to inherit, things like that. If we have a trust, then we skip court completely.
So say I just told my oldest daughter, like, you take care of it, you can have the house and just sell it and divide it out. Does that count?
You can do that, but there are things that can go wrong is the problem. For example, to make that work, you might choose to add your oldest daughter to your deed as a joint tenant on your property. I've seen that happen a
Oh,
lot.
that's interesting.
It's kind of a workaround, but unless you only have one child and they actually live in your home and they're going to be living there before they sell, then they're not going to be able to sell it as their personal residence. And as a result, they have to pay the back taxes owed on the increase in value since the date you purchased it. If you purchased it over 10 years ago, that's a lot of increase, and it could be up to 20% of that could be taxes.
So it sounds like this planning is going to help people save a lot of money, not just by not going back to court and time, but also, like what you're saying, if it's set up right.
To avoid paying
Is this
more
to help
tax?
us avoid paying taxes?
Avoiding the taxes is the main reason people do it, but there are other reasons. If you add a child to your house before you die and they have a creditor who gets a judgment in court against them, they can force the sale of your home to collect half of that
Now
value.
that's scary. You just
I
never
think
know.
even besides the financial end of it, it's just after the death of a loved one, it's an emotional
Oh, yes.
It
time.
is.
It's triggering for a lot of families. There's a lot of fights that ensue, and so it's just better, I think,
It's
to
the
have.
last thing you want to do.
Yeah,
is
a
to
lot
have
of the
to-
details
Even if you
taken
are
care
a
of.
family that gets along and feel like you have it set
You
in
might
stone,
not afterwards.
Yeah.
that
though.
gun may be more important than you think it is.
Right. The estate plan saves a lot of that arguing. We already have somebody who's supposed to be in charge, so everybody says, okay, go ahead, you do it, knowing that if they do it wrong, they can still take them to court and say, you have to step up or we're going to remove you as trustee.
So tell me the process when someone dies and you actually, someone had a will, they had a will all set up and a trust. How does that go into play? Like, so someone dies, so what's the
Where
next
do you
step?
go? Yes.
What do you do now?
It's so smooth. If you have an estate plan in place, whoever you've named as your successor trustee immediately has the right to go to the bank, pull out money, pay for things. They can go to a title company and sign a deed selling the property to someone else.
Do they have to have like a death certificate to show the bank to be like, okay, this
That's right.
person's died, and so then it's just
As long as you have a death certificate, you can do almost everything in the process in a very short time.
okay.
Some people have a mortgage on the house still when they die. And if you don't have an estate plan, then you're signing up to get on the probate calendar with the court, and you're waiting for that to happen, and you may have to make mortgage payments while you wait.
Yeah, what's the time frame for that for a probate?
It depends. I've actually had a probate that I was able to go start to finish in 3 days, which is
wow.
quite fast.
Quick.
Some of them can take a couple of months. If there's a conflict between any parties, it can go for years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all over the board.
Right.
And is it just because of death or illness or something like that? Is that important to have a trust or a will? Is that something that you include in it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
My trust package includes the trust, 2 wills, 2 power of attorneys, and 2 healthcare directives. So the power of attorney is super helpful. If you're unable to handle your finances on your own, this person is suddenly authorized to take money out of your bank and pay your bills. And it's not their money, they can't have any claim on it personally, but they can help you with finances. And then the healthcare directive on the other side is going to help if you're in a coma or if you just can't think clearly. They can hire and fire doctors, choose your medical providers, you can choose a hospital, nursing
Does that
home,
also
whatever.
include if, say, you're just on a machine and they're like, you're going to be on a machine forever, like kind of like a vegetable?
Yes,
So they can decide, or maybe that someone who writes it up says, I don't want to be a vegetable, let me go, or...
Yeah, but part of the healthcare directive includes a living will that determines what happens when you want to go. Some people
Okay.
will say, you know what, I'm going to name this agent and let them make all the decisions. Other people will say, in these specific circumstances, you have to let me go. And they take that burden away from the person making the decisions. They just know it's going to happen.
Okay.
There have been people who have gone through the courts because you've got a husband who's ready to let someone go, and then you've got family members who want to keep them around when they're on those machines. And it can be quite a mess in the courts.
So that can be important to appoint someone maybe financially to take care of things, and then maybe health-wise to take care of things, just depending on their personality or their interest in it.
It could be the same person, and that's common, but I've also seen a lot of parents who say, this child is good with this issue, this child is good with that issue, and they'll name different people.
So interesting.
That is interesting. Okay, I wanted to ask, what if we don't have the funds to purchase? Like coming into you, you said your package. Tell us like some pricing.
Right, so an estate plan, if it's for a couple, that includes the whole package, that's $1,250.
$1,250.
Right.
Okay, because sometimes people can misunderstand.
I do hear the joke, yeah, $12.50. That's great.
That is a deal.
What a steal.
Yes, for singles, it's $1,000.
Okay.
But this includes all of these things and a deed that gets recorded in one county that puts your property into the trust. And a lot of people who try to do their own estate planning don't know that's crucial, is to get the deed your house into the trust. Otherwise, we're still going to probate, and it was a waste of time.
Okay.
You need someone smart to do stuff.
Yeah, and just
special
know those steps and those little pitfalls
loopholes
that we might
there is.
miss.
There are many. Yeah.
What things could we do that would be free? Any?
Well, there are actually several things you can do that are free. If you will write your own will and you handwrite it and you date it and you sign it, that's a legal will that will stand up in court. You don't have to have a notary, you don't have to have witnesses. But if you add a notary and witnesses, that adds a little strength, because someone may argue that that wasn't really your signature.
Yeah.
But that's a minimum you could do for free. In addition to that, you can write a letter that states your wishes regarding burial, regarding your funeral, care for your pets, things like that. You can also do a healthcare directive. If you go to your doctor and ask them to print out a form, it will state who your agent will be, that kind of thing. I use a very similar form to the one that's produced by the state, and so that would be a free form you could get on your own. I will help you through the form if you come to me, and it'll be part of your whole package. Let's see here. What else could you do for free? I had a note.
We can also have a free consultation with you.
Yes, you can.
Okay, perfect.
And when you do, we'll spend 30 minutes talking about what your situation is and tailor your specific needs. I can actually save you a lot of time and trouble in those 30 minutes. In addition to that, you can go to your bank and name a primary and secondary beneficiary. If you do that with all of your accounts, then if someone dies, like your spouse, you'll have a backup. That person will inherit.
I feel like the older I get, the more I'm aware of these other things that maybe I need to take the reins in on. When before, you didn't worry much about it. But that was setting the record clear that if you have a child, if you have a home, then you're never too young or old to start this process.
Absolutely.
Ken, thank you for joining us. How can people find you?
Well, my website is prigmorelaw.com.
Okay.
I'm at the Canyon Creek Professional Center, just east of the post office. I share an office with Wasatch Land and Title.
Okay.
And,
is it Bueller Dental? Is that
they're
the
in
same?
there as well,
okay,
yes.
Perfect. Awesome.
And I'm happy to talk to anyone who has questions.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
My
Natasha
pleasure.
will be sad. She said to say hi.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
There's more Studio Chatter coming up. Welcome back. We had a pretty good list of diverse topics today, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did.
Yes.
I
Did you
love
guys
how
learn
the
new
shows
things?
always like come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
well,
did we learn?
you know, I'm particular to my Utah Surgical Arts
Yes,
doctor.
You know the favorite. Voting over here. Yep.
And someone over here. But I really do love these two. They've just come on board. And that's tricky when there's been 4 doctors that have worked together for so long. And then you have 2 new guys come in. And they have just jumped in, like feet first, and just gone to work. And just really great humans. But I work for a great company, and I appreciate that. I get 2 great works.
Well, and they would have to have good work ethic to be in school that many years.
Yep, they do.
Over and over and over
so
again.
professional, but like so personable too.
They're
Yeah,
just really
that matters.
awesome.
Yes,
It
and
does.
sometimes that's rare in the medical
Yep,
profession.
it really is. And I think that that's kind of what we push to the forefront of our practice is the personal.
That's awesome.
Yep, connecting.
Angela, did you have a favorite guest today?
There's a really handsome guy that came in.
Tell us more.
So I love that Kevin came in and shared about videos because he really loves it. Like I ask him all the time, like, are you bored with doing this? Because he's just like sitting at his desk and it looks so boring to me. But he's like, I love this so much.
But he doesn't like sit and watch it because he works, and so so when you bring your videos in, people should realize he's not like watching all of your home
No,
movies.
he's not.
He like puts it on, and then he's like,
But when he
change
edits
it.
them, he like goes through them kind of fast.
Yeah.
But we had one lady say, now there's a birthing video in here.
See, I know because there's random
She's
stuff
like,
that's
it's
in
done
there.
tactfully, but just so you know.
He's
That
like,
was the first
okay,
video I watched is my 4th child being born. Thank goodness it was tasteful, but I didn't even think once. I was like, oh, Kevin wasn't watching. Hopefully.
It goes by, so the only thing that he sees is when they're all done, he edits them to make sure there's no spaces in between. So he'll just go through really fast. So he probably won't see some stuff, but it just depends on where it stops.
Oh, that's true.
But there have been times he's like, come in here and watch this.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Shot a good deer.
But he does. He loves it, and he loves genealogy, and he just has. That is just his thing. He loves it.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
And so
passionate about it.
It really is. Yeah. Ooh. And speaking of love.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
God.
Speaking of love.
Oh my
Salted
goodness.
caramel, I believe, and strawberry.
I want strawberry.
Oh, I
already
think
know.
I'm gonna go. Ooh.
You do whatever you want, guys. I'll take the.
You know how some days you feel like a fruit, and sometimes you feel like a
We can even share.
something.
I'll share
No,
some.
I love salted caramel. Thank you.
Thank you
Wow.
so much. Thank you, Pete.
Yay! Pete's
Well,
trying to
I-
sweeten it up.
I love that
Sweeten the
Kim
dough.
came in. I've been talking to her for over a year about when your studio opens, Kim, we're going to want
Right.
you in.
We have talked about this.
And I work out in my downstairs basement a lot. In the summer, I walk the river trail a lot. But on Wednesdays, I really just love doing Pilates. It's something different. It's low impact. It's strengthening, toning, like she said. It's
Just a
good.
different workout.
It is. I love it.
And I think we need more strengthening and stretching as we get older.
Stretching is equally important.
Yeah, I agree.
You will injure yourself less. I remember the day my father-in-law was playing basketball, simply just with the kids on the driveway, right? Just simple basketball, and he tore his Achilles. Totally tore it. And I thought,
the stretching is good.
but stretching would prevent stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And she's just a sweetheart. She is so
love her.
great. I
I just
imagine
barely
her
met her.
energy in those classes would be awesome.
So contagious.
Over 40.
Just love her.
I'm sure it's over 30. Is it 30 or 40? Like the weight training is super important.
It
Yes.
is.
Yeah, it
So-
strengthens your bones.
Yep. Just good for you.
And-
you feel better.
Yep.
So, and of course,
That's
having
delicious.
Ken here talk about
Oh my
Will's.
gosh.
I know,
trust
things that we
was
don't
super.
really want to think about or we don't really put into our realm until it's too late, maybe. So this is really good to get me thinking. Even if you don't have a lot or a little, but to know that, like, if you have a child, like anything, any personal belongings, if you don't have that be given to them a certain way, that maybe it could be taken from them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just the simplicity of not having that be an issue when you pass away. Like you said, it's an emotional thing for the family to have someone pass away. So the last thing you want is more emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think those other emotions can come on easier if they're already emotional.
Yeah,
I agree. Do you
I
guys
would
have
agree.
your cemetery plots picked out?
No, do you?
No. I keep telling
I
Chris,
can't
let's do
decide
one.
where I want to be. Because my whole family is
Spanish
in
Fork, of
right.
course.
My whole family extended is like in Provo
Yeah.
area, and that's where like my parents are. But I was like, Spanish Fork feels more like my home
Yeah.
now, so that's probably where
Well,
I'll be.
I don't know. I like the option of getting cremated, and there's a company that will put your ashes in a firework and lighting it off.
For real?
For real. I am not
Well,
kidding.
that's exciting, Angela. Right?
Are you being serious? Like they put it in a firework?
Yeah, you can hire a company. They will put your ashes in a firework. You can light that sucker off.
Wow.
Boom.
I guess in the end, it just doesn't matter,
Boom.
right? As long as I have a nice place where people can go.
What I'm
and-
saying is, even if I don't do that, I want my kids to celebrate like that we just had the best life.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep.
So
That's a great idea, though.
But that is true.
That's
if
an ending
anybody
moment.
wants to have something exciting happen,
We need to find those guests to be on our show.
Well, we had a great show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
it
you so
was
much.
awesome.
Thanks for being here with us. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. And of course, if you learned something new, please tell a friend about us.